بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. This recording is a walkthrough of resource number 9 on page number 113 of our workbooks, Ajrumiyyah, Fundamentals of Arabic Grammar. أسئلة مراجعة. These are review questions من الدرس التاسع about the 9th lesson about the 4 indicators of the marfu' case. The expectation, of course, here, before you listen to this audio, is that you've studied the 9th lesson, you've understood the 9th lesson, and you are competent enough in your understanding of this 9th lesson to check your level of understanding. And you've already taken this quiz. You've already attempted to answer these questions in resource 9. So let's go over them together at this time. السؤال الأول. The first question. علامات الرفع هي. The signs of something being marfu', the indicators of a marfu' word are what? A. الواو والضمة والألف والنون. B. الضمة والواو والألف وحذف النون. C. الواو والباء والتاء. Or D. الضمة والفتحة والكسرة والسكون. So this is a very basic and direct question coming right from the wording of the text we've studied. Ibn Ajrumiyyah rahimahullah said, للرفع أربع علامات الضمة والواو والألف والنون. So answer choice A gives you all 4 signs of rafa in the same order mentioned by the author rahimahullah ta'ala. السؤال الثاني علامة الرفع الأصلية هي. The base sign, the original indicator of the marfu' case is which one? A. الضمة. B. الواو والنون. C. النون. Or D. الفتحة. So the correct answer is, as you've studied and understood from our explanation, is الضمة. الضمة is the original indicator of the marfu' case. So the correct answer choice was A. السؤال الثالث. The third question. ما هي علامة الرفع في قوله تعالى قل يا أيها الكافرون. What is the sign of rafa, of some word being marfu' in the statement of Allah? Say, O Muhammad, O you kafirun. And so this question actually requires us to identify that the word which is marfu' in that structure is al-kafirun. So our answer choices are A. السكون في قوله قل. B. الفتحة على النون في قوله الكافرون. C. لا يوجد شيء مرفوع في هذه الآية. There's nothing even marfu' in this verse. Or D. الواو في قوله الكافرون. And the correct answer choice is D. الواو من علامات الرفع. Wow is one of the signs of a word being marfu'. As for A, as-sukun, well, that's not even one of the possible signs or indicators of a word being marfu'. As for B, al-fatha, it doesn't matter where you say the fatha is. The fatha is also not a sign of a word being marfu'. It is not an indicator. It is not an alama. As for the claim that there is nothing marfu' in the verse, well, that's just wrong. And so the correct answer is D, the waw in al-kafirun, because that waw can change to a ya depending on the case. Sometimes al-kafirun could be al-kafirin, and that's depending on ikhtilaf al-awamil, the various tools of linguistic influence that are found in the passage. السؤال الرابع. The fourth question. أعرب. Remember, I said you're going to hear this question, أعرب, in this course. أعرب نصر في قوله تعالى إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. Explain what the position of the word Nasr is in the statement of Allah the Most High when the aid of Allah and the conquering comes. A. مرفوع علامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة. It is marfu'. The word Nasr is marfu', and the sign of it being marfu' is the dhamma that is clear and evident right at the end of the word. B. مرفوع علامة نصبه الضمة. It is marfu' and the sign of it being mansub is the dhamma. C. mansub علامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة. It's mansub and the sign of it being mansub is the fatha. There's no fatha on that word. Or D. مرفوع علامة رفعه النون نيابة عن الضمة. It's marfu' and the sign of it being marfu', the indicator is the noon, standing in for the dhamma. So the word Nasr does not have a noon at all, so that's nonsensical. We know that C is wrong as well because it is marfu', it has a dhamma on it. And so it's either A or B. Notice in B, the answer choice includes that alamatu nasbihi, that the sign of it being mansub is a dhamma, and it's not mansub. As stated, it's marfu'. So the correct answer choice is A. Nasr is marfu', alamatu raf'ihi al-dhammatu al-dhahira. السؤال الخامس ما هي علامة الرفع في قوله تعالى ويمنعون الماعون. What is the indicator of a word being marfu' in the statement of Allah the Most High, and they prevent the small acts of kindness? A. الفتحة على النون في الماعون. The fatha at the end of the word الماعون. B. الضمة على العين في الماعون. The dhamma on the ain in the word ماعون. C. الواو الثانية في ويمنعون. The second waw in the phrase ويمنعون. The first waw is right in the beginning and the second waw is next to the last letter. So the second waw is the sign of that word being marfu'. Or D. النون الثانية في ويمنعون. The second noon in the expression ويمنعون. And the first noon is right in the middle, وَيَمْنَ. And then the second noon is the last letter, وَيَمْنَعُونَ. This question is a bit of a challenge. So A must be eliminated right away because a fatha is, simply stated, not a sign of a word being marfu'. Remember? لِلرَّفْعِ أَرْبَعُ عَلَامَاتٍ. The raf' case, a word being marfu' has 4 signs or 4 indicators. Al-dhammatu, wal-wawu, wal-alifu, wal-noonu. And there's no fatha mentioned there. So fatha is not a sign of a word being marfu'. A needs eliminated right away. Now we've got 3 answer choices that are possible because the sign mentioned in that answer choice is actually one of the potential signs of a word being marfu'. We've got a dhamma, a waw, and a noon. So these are potentially possible. Let's examine them closely. The dhamma on the ain of ma'un. Now, is the sign of i'rab something in the middle of the word or the end of the word? The end, right? So we're going to eliminate B because that dhamma on the ain couldn't be the sign of i'rab, of something being marfu' from the different cases of i'rab, because it's not at the end of the word or right near the end of the word. C. Al-waw al-thaniya fi وَيَمْنَعُونَ. The second waw, that's وَيَمْنَعُونَ. That waw is a sign of it being marfu'. That means if yamna'un changed, the waw would be something else, like وَيَمْنَعِينَ or something like that. And the way yamna'un would change would be the noon being removed. And it would be وَيَمْنَعُوا without the noon. So that means the noon itself must be the sign of يَمْنَعُون being marfu'. And like I said, this question is a bit challenging and we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves with it. So if you faced some confusion or difficulty with it, give yourself that. That's okay at this point. السؤال السادس والأخير, the sixth and final question. أعرب جنتان في قوله تعالى وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. Make i'rab of the word jannatani in the statement of Allah the Most High, which means, and for the one who fears the standing in front of his Lord, he shall have 2 gardens. From Surah Ar-Rahman, the 46th verse. And we ask Allah Ta'ala for jannatain. We ask Allah Ta'ala for these 2 gardens, and that He guide us to having true fear of Him and the standing in front of Him that leads to righteous actions and noble restraint against urges to sin. Your answer choices are A, marfu'un, alamatu raf'ihi. And notice, that's how all 4 answers begin. So this one's a bit of a challenge. All answers are that jannatani is marfu'. That means for sure it is marfu'. But what is the alama? What is the indicator that it is marfu'? In answer choice A, we have alamatu raf'ihi al-alifu niyabatan 'an ad-dhamma. Its indicator of being marfu' is the alif in place of the dhamma, standing in for the dhamma. Answer choice B is alamatu raf'ihi al-kasra niyabatan 'an ad-dhamma. Answer choice C is alamatu raf'ihi an-nunu niyabatan 'an ad-dhamma. And answer choice D is alamatu raf'ihi al-wawu fi awwal al-kalima. So let's eliminate some possibilities here. The kasra mentioned in answer choice B, could that possibly be correct? Is a kasra ever a sign of a word being marfu'? The answer is no. So eliminate answer choice B right away. Also, look at answer choice D closely. The waw is actually a sign of a word being marfu', but is it in fi awwal al-ayah, in the beginning of the verse, meaning that waw, وَلِمَنْ خَافَ, the first waw? Could that be the sign of the word jannatani being marfu'? Quite clearly not, because remember we said the signs of i'rab are in the last parts of the word. So we're looking for something at the end of jannatani. So we've got 2 possibilities left. Answer choice A is the alif, jannatani, or answer choice C is the noon, that the noon is still there and not removed, jannatani. All right, so when jannatani changes, it becomes jannataini, as was indicated when I asked Allah for those jannataini. So then the alif changes. So that means the alif is the sign of jannatani's i'rab. It is the sign of jannatani being marfu'. So the correct answer choice then was A. And understandably, you may have encountered some difficulty with these last 2 questions. May Allah Ta'ala bless you and give you success. I hope the explanation and the walkthrough was helpful. May Allah Ta'ala open up for you solid understanding, fluency, and competency in the language of His majestic book. وصلي اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. On to lesson number 10, insha'Allah ta'ala. وفقك الله.